The council chamber on Nexus Prime stood silent as Ambassador Veleth reviewed the reports. His compound eyes scanned the data screens with growing irritation. 3 more colony worlds had gone dark in the outer rim. No distress calls, no warnings, just silence. "Another malfunction," Veleth said to his aide, dismissing the concern with a wave of his chitinous limb. "The outer colonies always had weak communications." But deep inside, something worried him. All 3 worlds sat near the dead zones, the vast, uncharted regions of space where the humans had been exiled 300 years ago. Veleth remembered the stories from the old archives. Humanity had joined the Galactic Council with such hope and excitement. They had offered friendship and cooperation, but within 50 years everything changed. The humans expanded too fast. They asked too many questions. They challenged too many traditions. The final vote came after humanity proposed radical changes to council law. 73 species voted to exile them. Only 12 voted to let them stay. The humans were given 1 year to leave all council space. They were too dangerous, Veleth whispered to himself, repeating what every student learned in school. Too unpredictable, too aggressive. The council had been certain that humanity would collapse without galactic support. Without access to trade routes, advanced technology, and diplomatic protection, the human colonies would fail within a generation. Some council members had felt guilty. Most felt relieved. Now, 3 centuries later, no one even thought about humans anymore. They were a footnote in history. A cautionary tale about species who could not follow the rules. "Ambassador, we should investigate these disappearances," his aide said nervously. 3 colonies in 2 months is unusual. Veleth considered this. The aide was right, even if Veleth did not want to admit it. "Send a scout team. Something small. It is probably just raiders from the dead zones. Primitives looking for supplies." The scout ship launched the next day. Captain Thren, a veteran explorer from the reptilian Kresh species, commanded the mission. His crew of 8 specialists had explored hundreds of systems. This should be simple. They reached the last known position of colony Tarius III after 5 days of travel. Thren expected to find debris, or perhaps raiders, or nothing at all. Instead, his sensors detected something impossible. "Captain, I am reading a massive energy signature," his sensor officer reported. "It just appeared. Distance, 20,000 kilometers. "On screen," Thren ordered. The view screen showed a vessel unlike anything in Council records. It was enormous, perhaps twice the size of a Council battlecruiser. Its hull was smooth and dark, covered in angular plating that seemed to absorb light. No insignia, no identification markers. Strange geometric patterns glowed faintly across its surface. "Attempt contact," Thren said, trying to keep his voice steady. Before his communications officer could respond, the massive ship simply vanished. Not jumped to faster-than-light speed, not moved away, just disappeared as if it had never existed. "Where did it go?" Thren demanded. "Unknown, Captain," the sensor officer said, his claws trembling on the controls. "One moment it was there. The next, nothing. No warp signature, no energy trail. It is as if the ship stopped existing." Thren made his decision quickly. "Return to Nexus Prime, maximum speed. The Council needs to see this data." Back on Nexus Prime, Veleth watched the recorded footage again and again. The ship was real. The sensor data confirmed it. But what species built it? The design matched nothing in the galactic database. "Could it be the humans?" his aide asked quietly. Veleth laughed, a clicking sound from his mandibles. "Impossible. The humans were barely spacefaring when we exiled them. They had primitive fusion drives and basic energy weapons. This ship uses technology we do not even understand." But doubt crept into his mind. The ship had appeared near the dead zones, near where humanity had fled 300 years ago. What if the humans had not collapsed? What if they had survived? No, it was impossible. Without the Council, without guidance, without access to advanced science, humanity should have regressed, not advanced. Schedule an emergency council session, Velith finally ordered. We need to discuss these disappearances and this unknown vessel. Far away, in a hidden base carved inside an asteroid, Captain Ji-Woo Park sat in the command center of the HSS Silent Vigil. Her crew had just completed their reconnaissance mission. The Council scout ship had spotted them for exactly 4.7 seconds before the stealth systems re-engaged. They saw us, her tactical officer said. Ji-Woo nodded calmly. I know. It was intentional. Admiral Min will want to know why you revealed the ship. Ji-Woo smiled slightly. The Council needs to remember that humanity exists. They are about to face something they cannot handle alone. Whether they want it or not, they will need our help. She pulled up a star chart showing the dead zones. Red markers indicated swarm activity. The extragalactic invasion force was moving toward Council space, consuming everything in its path. Humanity had tracked them for 15 years, preparing for this moment. The galaxy that had abandoned humanity was about to learn the truth. The exiles had not just survived. They had become something far greater than the Council ever imagined. And now, humanity would decide whether their old neighbors deserved saving. Captain Ji-Woo Park stood on the observation deck of Haven's Edge, watching ships come and go from the orbital docks. The colony world spread below her, green and blue and beautiful. Cities dotted the continents, connected by gleaming transport lines. Millions of humans called this place home. No one in the Galactic Council knew it existed. Lost in thought again? A voice asked behind her. Ji-Woo turned to see Commander Lee Min-ho, her executive officer and oldest friend. They had served together for 12 years across 4 different ships. Just thinking about how far we have come, Ji-Woo said. My grandmother told me stories about the exile, how scared everyone was, how certain they were that humanity would die in the darkness. Min-ho nodded. And instead, we thrived. It was true. When the Council exiled humanity, most humans had been terrified. They had depended on galactic trade, technology, and protection. Losing all of that seemed like a death sentence. But humanity had something the Council did not expect: pure stubbornness. The human fleets had traveled deep into uncharted space, far beyond where any Council explorer had ever gone. They found hundreds of habitable worlds. They built colonies in asteroid belts and on moons. They created underground cities and orbital habitats. Within 1 generation, humanity had spread across 50 star systems. Without the Council's rules limiting their research, human scientists had made breakthrough after breakthrough. Quantum stealth technology that bent light and sensor beams around ships. Neural interface systems that connected pilots directly to their vessels. Biological adaptation programs that let humans survive in dozens of different environments without heavy equipment. We should have thanked the Council for exiling us, Min-ho said with a grin. They did us a favor. Ji-Woo did not smile. Millions died in the first 50 years. The early colonies failed. Ships were lost. Entire settlements starved or froze. We paid a terrible price for our survival. I know, Min-ho said more seriously. I am sorry. My great-grandfather died on the colony ship Horizon. I did not mean to make light of their sacrifice. Ji-Woo's communicator beeped. She activated it. Captain Park. Captain, you are needed in Intelligence Command, the voice said. Priority 1. Ji-Woo and Min-ho exchanged glances. Priority 1 meant something serious. They took a shuttle to the Intelligence Command base hidden on Haven's Edge's northern continent. The base sat underground, protected by layers of rock and advanced shielding. Only a few hundred people in the entire colony knew it existed. Admiral Seo-yeon Min waited for them in the main briefing room. The admiral was 70 years old, but looked 50, thanks to advanced human medical technology. Her sharp eyes missed nothing. "Captain Park, Commander Lee." "Thank you for coming quickly," Admiral Min said. "What is happening?" Ji-Woo asked. Admiral Min activated a holographic display. It showed a three-dimensional map of the galaxy. The Council territory glowed blue, human space glowed green, and beyond both, coming from the galactic edge, a red wave slowly advanced. "The swarm," Admiral Min said simply. Ji-Woo felt her stomach tighten. She had read the classified reports about the swarm, an extragalactic species unlike anything humanity or the Council had encountered. They consumed everything in their path, breaking down matter and energy to fuel their expansion. They moved like locusts through space, leaving nothing behind but empty systems. "How close are they?" Minho asked. 6 months from Council space," Admiral Min replied. "Maybe less. Our deep space monitoring stations have tracked 300,000 swarm ships so far, and more keep coming." "Does the Council know?" Ji-Woo asked. "They are just beginning to understand something is wrong," Admiral Min said. "The colony world's going silent. That was the swarm. But the Council thinks it is raiders or technical failures. They have no idea what is coming." Ji-Woo studied the map. "And we knew about this for how long?" 15 years. Our exploration ships detected the swarm while mapping the outer regions. We have been preparing since then." "Preparing how?" Minho asked. Admiral Min smiled grimly. "Building ships, training crews, developing weapons designed specifically to fight the swarm. We have been ready for this war since before the Council knew there was a threat." Ji-Woo understood the implications. "You want us to help them, help the Council." "That is the question, Captain," Admiral Min said. "The Council abandoned us. They called us dangerous. They voted to exile us and left us to die. Many humans believe we should return the favor. Let the Council face the swarm alone." "And you?" Ji-Woo asked. "What do you believe, Admiral?" Admiral Min walked to the window overlooking the command center below. Dozens of officers worked at their stations, monitoring the entire hidden human network across the stars. "I believe we are better than they are," Admiral Min said quietly. "The Council exiled us because we were unpredictable, because we asked difficult questions, because we challenged their comfortable traditions. We could choose to be as petty and cruel as they were, or we could prove that humanity is better than our worst fears." Ji-Woo looked at the red wave on the holographic display. Hundreds of Council worlds, trillions of innocent beings, all about to face annihilation. "There are children on those worlds," Ji-Woo said. "People who were not even alive when humanity was exiled. They do not deserve to die for what their ancestors did." "Exactly," Admiral Min said. "So here is your mission, Captain. Take the silent vigil and patrol the border regions. When the swarm attacks Council territory, you will engage. You will save lives. And you will make contact with the Council again after 300 years. They will not trust us," Minho said. "No," Admiral Min agreed. "They will not. But they will need us. And that is where everything changes." The colony world Tarius III had been peaceful for 200 years. 12 million beings from 6 different species lived and worked there. Farmers grew food in the fertile valleys. Merchants traded goods in bustling markets. Children played in parks under a golden sun. Then the sky turned black. Governor Melnak, an elderly Thurian with silver scales, watched from his office window as dark shapes filled the atmosphere. Thousands of them. They looked like geometric nightmares, all sharp angles and dark metal, moving in perfect formation. "Get everyone to the shelters," Melnak ordered his staff. "Now! Sound the planetary alarm!" The swarm ships opened fire. Energy beams cut through buildings like paper. The capital city's shield generators overloaded within seconds. Explosions ripped through the streets. Screams filled the air as millions of people ran for safety. In orbit, the Council Defense Fleet fought desperately. Captain Vornis commanded 8 cruisers and 23 smaller vessels. Against the hundreds of swarm ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel, his fleet looked pathetically small. "All ships, focus fire on the lead elements," Vornis ordered. "We need to buy time for the evacuation." His ships launched missiles and energy weapons at the swarm vessels. Some shots connected, scorching the dark hulls. But the swarm did not slow down. More ships kept arriving, wave after wave of them. "Captain, our weapons are barely scratching them," his tactical officer reported. "Their hull material is absorbing most of the damage." "Then hit them harder," Vornis snapped. But he knew it was hopeless. His fleet was designed to fight pirates and minor threats. Not this. Never this. On the planet's surface, Governor Melnack had made it to the Central Command bunker. Reports flooded in from all over the world, cities burning, shields failing, millions trapped with no way to escape. "Where is the relief fleet from Nexus Prime?" Melnack demanded. 5 days away at maximum speed," an officer replied. 5 days. They would all be dead in 5 hours. Melnack sat down heavily. After 200 years of peace, he was going to watch his world die. He thought of his granddaughter, who was visiting the northern continent for school. He thought of the millions of people depending on him. He had failed them all. In orbit, Captain Vornis had lost 6 ships already. The swarm was overwhelming his defenses. 2 more cruisers took critical hits and broke apart in silent explosions of atmosphere and metal. "This is Captain Vornis to all remaining ships," he said quietly. "It has been an honor serving with you. Hold the line as long as possible. For Tarius III, for the Council, for our families." His crew did not respond with words. They simply kept fighting, knowing they would not survive. Then something changed. "Captain, I am detecting new energy signatures," his sensor officer said. "Multiple ships entering the system. Configuration unknown." "Swarm reinforcements?" Vornis asked bitterly. "No, sir. These signatures are different. They are behind the swarm fleet." On the view screen, Vornis saw something impossible. 10 massive ships had appeared from nowhere, arranged in a crescent formation behind the swarm vessels. Their hulls were dark and smooth, covered in glowing geometric patterns. They were beautiful and terrifying at the same time. The unknown ships opened fire, but they did not use normal energy weapons. Instead, each ship launched thousands of small objects that spread out like a swarm of insects. These objects moved with impossible speed and accuracy, targeting individual swarm ships. Where the objects hit, swarm vessels simply tore apart. Not from explosions. The ships seemed to unravel from the inside, their hull plating peeling away like paper. "What in the name of the Council is that?" Vornis whispered. Within minutes, half the swarm fleet was destroyed. The remaining swarm ships tried to retreat, but the unknown vessels were faster. They hunted down every single swarm ship until nothing remained. Then the unknown ships turned their attention to Vornis's battered fleet. "Unknown vessels, this is Captain Vornis of the Council Defense Fleet," he transmitted. "Identify yourselves." For a long moment, silence. Then a voice responded in perfect Council standard language. "This is Captain Jiwoo Park of the Human Space Service vessel Silent Vigil. We are here to help." Vornis felt his blood turn cold. Humans. Impossible. Humans were primitives exiled 300 years ago. They should not even have space travel anymore. "This is some kind of trick," Vornis said. "No trick, Captain," Jiwoo replied. "Your ship is heavily damaged. Your shield generators are at 15%. You have hull breaches on decks 4, 7, and 9. You have approximately 40 minutes of life support remaining. Let us help you." Vornis looked around his bridge. His crew was exhausted. Half his systems were offline. More importantly, these humans had just destroyed a swarm fleet that he could not even scratch. "What do you want in return?" Vornis asked suspiciously. "To save lives," Jiwoo said simply. We are sending rescue ships to the planet's surface, medical teams, emergency supplies. If you want to help, tell Governor Melnack to coordinate with our people. Vornis made his decision. Agreed, but I am coming aboard your ship. I need to see this with my own eyes. Understood. Shuttle Bay 2 is open. Welcome aboard, Captain. Governor Melnack watched from the bunker as strange ships landed all over Tarius III. They were smaller than the giant warships in orbit, but still far more advanced than anything the Council used. Human soldiers emerged wearing powered armor, carrying wounded civilians to safety. Human medical personnel set up aid stations with equipment that worked like magic. One human approached Melnack directly. She was young, maybe 30 years old, with dark hair and intelligent eyes. She wore a uniform marked with symbols Melnack did not recognize. Governor Melnack, I am Commander Lee Min-ho of the HSS Silent Vigil. We are here to help evacuate your people. How are you here? Melnack asked. Humans were exiled. You should not have this technology. Min-ho smiled sadly. We had 300 years to learn, Governor. 300 years of necessity. We will explain everything. But first, let us save your people. Aboard the Silent Vigil, Captain Vornis walked through corridors that looked like art and technology merged together. Everything was smooth and efficient. The crew moved with confidence and discipline. This was a military vessel far more advanced than anything in the Council fleet. He reached the bridge and saw Captain Jiwoo Park for the first time. She was younger than he expected, but her eyes held the weight of command. Captain Vornis, Jiwoo said, offering a human handshake. I wish we could meet under better circumstances. Vornis shook her hand awkwardly. You saved my crew, my world. I owe you gratitude, even if I do not understand what is happening. The swarm is what is happening, Jiwoo said seriously. What you saw today was just a small scouting force. The main fleet is coming, hundreds of thousands of ships, maybe millions. And Captain Vornis, the Council cannot stop them alone. But you can, Vornis asked. We have been preparing for this war for 15 years, Jiwoo said. While the Council ignored us, we watched the galaxy. We saw the swarm coming. We built weapons. We trained for this exact scenario. Why? Vornis demanded. Why help us? The Council exiled your people. We left you to die. Jiwoo looked out at the planet below, where her crews were saving thousands of lives. Because we chose to be better than you were, she said quietly. Because there are innocent people down there who do not deserve to die. And because humanity learned something important during our exile, Captain. We learned that survival means nothing if you lose your soul in the process. The Council chamber on Nexus Prime had never been so divided. Representatives from 73 species argued loudly, their voices overlapping in a chaos of anger and fear. Ambassador Velith stood at his podium, trying to restore order. Please, we must make a decision. A decision? Roared Representative Karn, a massive bear-like creature from the Ursadi coalition. You want us to ask the humans for help? The same humans we exiled for being too dangerous? The same humans who just saved 12 million lives on Tarius III, Velith countered. The same humans who destroyed a swarm fleet that our defense forces could not even damage. We do not need human help, declared Representative Chalice, her crystalline body shimmering with indignation. We have defended the galaxy for 10,000 years. We will find a way to stop this swarm. With what? Velith demanded. Our weapons do not work against them. Our shields fail in minutes. 3 more colonies have gone silent since Tarius III. How many more worlds must we lose before we accept reality? In the gallery above, Captain Vornis watched the debate with frustration. He had testified about what he saw. He had shown them recordings of the human ships and their incredible technology. But pride and old hatred were powerful forces. They are fools, muttered Governor Melnack, sitting next to Vornis. My people are alive because of human mercy, and the Council argues about politics. Far away in the hidden human command station buried inside a neutron star's orbital platform, a different debate was happening. Admiral Seo Yeon Min faced a room full of human military leaders and colony representatives. Some wanted to help the Council. Many did not. "They left us to die," said General Torres, commander of the 5th Human Fleet. 300 years ago, they voted to exile us. They took away our homes, our trade routes, our technology. Millions of our ancestors died because of their decision. And now they need us, and we are supposed to just forget all of that? Murmurs of agreement rippled through the room. Admiral Min waited for silence. General Torres is right. The Council did abandon us. They were cruel and short-sighted. We paid a terrible price for their fear and prejudice. Then why are we even discussing this? Torres demanded. Because we have a choice, Admiral Min said firmly. We can be like them, petty and cruel and willing to let millions die to satisfy our pride. Or we can be better. We can choose to protect innocent lives not because they deserve it, but because it is the right thing to do. The right thing? Torres shook his head. Admiral, with respect, morality is a luxury. We should be thinking strategically. Let the Council and the Swarm destroy each other. We can expand into the empty space afterward. And what happens when the Swarm finishes consuming Council space? Asked Captain Jiwoo Park from her seat. Do we think they will just stop? The Swarm consumes everything. If they destroy the Council, we will be next, and we will face them alone. Captain Park is correct, Admiral Min said. The Swarm must be stopped here in Council space, where we can fight alongside allies. If we wait, we die. It is that simple. But we have another problem, Jiwoo continued. The Swarm is not like any enemy the galaxy has faced. They are a hive mind. They adapt to weapons and tactics. They learn from every battle. The Council fights in predictable ways. Formation battles, standard tactics. Against the Swarm, predictability equals death. What are you suggesting? Asked Commander Chen, leader of the research division. Jiwoo stood and activated a holographic display. The Swarm expects order, logic, predictable military strategy. That is how the Council thinks. That is how every species in the galaxy thinks. Except us, Admiral Min said, understanding. Exactly, Jiwoo confirmed. 300 years ago, the Council exiled us because we were too unpredictable, too chaotic, too willing to break the rules. Everything they hated about humanity is exactly what we need to fight the Swarm. She changed the holographic display to show battle simulations. Random attack patterns, unpredictable tactics, ships that make decisions independently instead of following rigid formations, creativity, chaos, adaptation. The Swarm cannot prepare for something it cannot predict. And the Council cannot fight that way, Commander Chen said slowly. Their entire military doctrine is built on order and tradition. Which is why they need us, Admiral Min said. Not just our technology, not just our weapons. They need our way of thinking. They need the very thing they feared about us. General Torres crossed his arms. And if we help them, what do we get in return? Another exile when the war is over? We get survival, Admiral Min said. But you are right to ask about the future. If we help the Council, we do it as equals. No more exile, no more hiding. Humanity takes its place in the galaxy, openly and with full recognition. They will never agree to that, Torres said. Then we do not help them, Admiral Min replied. I will not ask human soldiers to die for people who still see us as dangerous primitives. Either the Council recognizes humanity as equals, or they face the Swarm alone. Back in the Council chamber, Ambassador Velith received a message on his personal communicator. He read it twice, not quite believing what he saw. I have just received a transmission from the humans, Velith announced. The chamber fell silent. They are willing to help us fight the Swarm, but they have conditions. Conditions? Representative Karn laughed bitterly. The exiles make demands of us? Yes, Velith said firmly. First, all human colonies will be officially recognized as sovereign territory. Second, humanity will be granted full membership in the Galactic Council. Third, all records of the exile will be unsealed and made public, so future generations understand what happened. Outrageous, Shayla said. We should refuse. Then we die, Velith said bluntly. I have seen what the swarm can do. I have seen what human technology can do. Without their help, the council will fall. Every world we control will be consumed. Trillions will die. Is your pride worth that price? The chamber erupted in argument again. Velith let them shout for a while. Then he raised his voice above the chaos. I call for a vote. All in favor of accepting human terms and requesting their aid against the swarm. The voting began. Velith watched the count climb slowly. Some species voted yes immediately. Others hesitated. Some voted no out of pride or old hatred. When the final count appeared, Velith felt relief wash over him. 49 species voted yes. 24 voted no. It was enough. The measure passes, Velith announced. I will inform the humans that we accept their terms. He composed the message carefully, knowing that every word mattered. 300 years ago, the Council had sent humanity a message of exile. Now Velith would send a message asking them to return, not as subordinates, not as guests, but as equals. As he sent the message, Velith wondered what the galaxy would look like when this war was over. The Council had been the same for thousands of years, stable, predictable, comfortable. Humanity was about to change everything. On the human command station, Admiral Min read the Council's acceptance. She smiled slightly. Send the message to all fleet commanders, she ordered. Operation Homecoming is approved. We are going back to Council space, and this time, we are not leaving. The Edge of Darkness was the name Council cartographers had given to the border between known space and the void beyond. It was here, in the empty dark between stars, that the combined fleet assembled. Captain Jiwoo Park stood on the bridge of the HSS Silent Vigil, watching hundreds of ships take their positions. Human vessels formed the center of the formation, sleek and dark with their glowing geometric patterns. Council ships surrounded them, traditional and colorful in their variety of designs. I never thought I would see this, said Ambassador Velith from his position next to Jiwoo. The Council had assigned him as the official liaison to the human fleet. In the past 3 weeks, he and Jiwoo had spent countless hours together, planning and coordinating. See what? Jiwoo asked. Human and Council ships flying together, Velith replied. 3 months ago, I did not even believe humans still existed. Now I am standing on a human warship, preparing for the most important battle in galactic history. Strange how things change, Jiwoo agreed. The combined fleet numbered over 800 vessels, 200 human warships, each one equipped with technology designed specifically to fight the swarm. 600 Council ships from dozens of different species, all willing to work with their former exiles. It was not enough. Intelligence reports showed the swarm main fleet approaching with over 300,000 ships. Captain, we are receiving the final strategic briefing from Admiral Min, reported Commander Lee Min-ho from the tactical station. Admiral Min's face appeared on the main view screen. Behind her, Jiwoo could see the command center of the HSS Indomitable, the largest human warship ever built. All ships, this is Admiral Min. In approximately 4 hours, the swarm will enter this system. We have one chance to stop them here. If they break through our lines, they will reach the core Council worlds within days. Billions will die. The Admiral paused, letting that sink in. Council forces, you have trained with our tactics for 3 weeks. I know our methods seem chaotic to you. Trust them anyway. Human vessels will create unpredictable attack patterns. Your job is to support us and protect our flanks. Do not try to maintain traditional formations. Stay flexible, adapt, react. Human forces, remember your training. The swarm learns fast. Never use the same tactic twice. Keep them guessing. Keep them confused. If they cannot predict us, they cannot beat us. Admiral Min's expression softened slightly. 300 years ago, humans and the Council parted as enemies. Today, we stand together as allies. Whatever happens in the next few hours, know that you fight for something bigger than old grudges. You fight for survival, for the future, for every innocent life in this galaxy. She saluted sharply. Good luck to us all. May we see another sunrise. The view screen went dark. Ji-Woo turned to her crew. They looked nervous, but determined. You heard the Admiral. Let us show the galaxy what humanity has become. The swarm arrived exactly on schedule. The sensor screens lit up with thousands of red dots, then tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands. They emerged from faster-than-light travel in perfect formation, a wall of dark, geometric ships stretching across the stars. All ships, hold positions, Ji-Woo ordered over the fleet-wide channel. Wait for my signal. The swarm fleet advanced slowly, scanning the combined forces. Ji-Woo knew what they were doing, analyzing, categorizing, preparing optimal attack patterns based on expected behavior. They are targeting our ships, Minho reported. Energy signatures indicate they are charging weapons. Wait, Ji-Woo said calmly. The swarm opened fire. Thousands of energy beams cut through space toward the combined fleet. It looked like a wave of death, unstoppable and overwhelming. Now, Ji-Woo said, execute Wildfire Protocol. Every human ship activated the revolutionary new system that humanity had spent 15 years developing. The Wildfire Protocol connected each ship's AI to its captain's neural interface, creating a perfect blend of human intuition and machine calculation. Each ship could make independent decisions, react to threats instantly, and coordinate without central commands. The human fleet scattered in 1,000 different directions. No formation, no pattern, pure chaos. They weaved between the swarm's energy beams like dancers, moving in ways that should have been impossible. And they fired back. The human weapons were not traditional energy beams or missiles. They were adaptive nanoswarms, clouds of tiny machines that could change their behavior mid-flight. Some became explosive, some became cutting tools, some simply attached to swarm ships and shut down their systems. The nanoswarms could not be predicted or countered because they changed with every attack. Swarm ships began exploding all across the battlefield, dozens at first, then hundreds, then thousands. Council forces engage now, Ji-Woo ordered. Support pattern Delta 7. The Council ships opened fire, targeting the swarm vessels that the human ships had damaged. It was not the traditional Council fighting style, no rigid formations, no predictable patterns, just flexible, reactive warfare that adapted moment by moment. The swarm tried to adjust. Their ships changed tactics, attempting new attack patterns. But every time they adapted to one strategy, the human ships switched to something completely different. They are confused, Minho said with satisfaction. The swarm cannot predict what we will do next, because we do not know what we will do next. Ambassador Velith watched the battle with amazement. This is incredible. You are winning. We are surviving, Ji-Woo corrected. But look at the numbers. Velith checked the tactical display. Despite their success, the swarm still had overwhelming numbers. For every 10 swarm ships destroyed, 100 more pressed forward. We need something bigger, Ji-Woo said. She opened a channel to Admiral Min. Admiral, requesting permission to execute Final Gambit. There was a pause. Final Gambit was the ultimate desperate strategy. It was dangerous. It might not work. But if it did, it would change everything. Permission granted, Admiral Min said. Good luck, Captain. Ji-Woo turned to her crew. Route all power to the quantum core. Prepare for synchronized reality disruption. Every human ship in the fleet did the same thing. They activated their most experimental technology, something that humanity had only tested in simulations. A quantum weapon that did not destroy matter but disconnected it from normal space-time. 200 human ships fired simultaneously at the exact same point in space. The quantum beams merged into a single brilliant point of light that expanded rapidly, creating a sphere of impossible physics. Every swarm ship caught inside the sphere simply ceased to exist. Not destroyed, not damaged, just removed from reality. When the light faded, over 200,000 swarm ships were gone. The remaining swarm forces stopped advancing, their hive mind struggling to process what had happened. "All ships, final assault," Admiral Min ordered. "Drive them back." The combined fleet surged forward. Human ships and council vessels fought side by side, pushing the confused and damaged swarm forces back toward the edge of the system. The battle lasted another 3 hours. When it finally ended, the swarm fleet was scattered and retreating. The combined forces had won, though at a terrible cost. 40% of the council ships were destroyed or damaged. 20% of the human fleet was gone, but they had won. In the aftermath, Jiwoo found herself on the observation deck with Ambassador Velith. Both were exhausted. Both had seen too many ships die. "We did it," Velith said quietly. "We actually did it." "We survived," Jiwoo corrected again. "There is a difference." "Is there?" Velith asked. "Captain, today humans and council species fought together. We trusted each other. We learned from each other. That is more than just survival." Jiwoo looked out at the fleet. Human and council ships drifting together in the darkness. Medical ships moved between them, treating wounded. Repair vessels began the long process of fixing damaged hulls. 300 years ago, your people feared what humanity could become, Jiwoo said. "And you became exactly what we feared," Velith replied. "Powerful, advanced, dangerous." He paused. "But we were wrong about what that meant. We thought dangerous meant cruel, aggressive, destructive. Instead, you became dangerous to our enemies, protective of the innocent, strong enough to defend others." "We chose to be protectors instead of conquerors," Jiwoo said. "That choice mattered." A message came through from Admiral Min. The new Galactic Compact was ready for signing. Humanity would officially join the Council as founding members of a reformed government. The old Council of rigid tradition would become something new, something flexible and adaptive, something better. "Captain Park," Velith said formally, "on behalf of the Galactic Council, I officially welcome humanity home." Jiwoo smiled slightly. "Thank you, Ambassador. But this was never about coming home. This was about building something new. Together." Below them, human and council ships moved in formation, no longer separated by old wounds and ancient fears. In the darkness between stars, two civilizations that had been enemies for 3 centuries began to learn how to be friends. And far away, deeper in the void, the swarm retreated and regrouped. The hive mind analyzed what had happened, trying to understand the chaotic forces that had defeated them. But some things cannot be understood through logic and prediction. Some forces, like human determination and the choice to protect others despite old grudges, existed beyond any calculation. The galaxy was changing, and humanity, once exiled and forgotten, had become its unexpected savior.